and let's continue this type of discussion.
My fellow Guyanese, it's Monday, August 9th. Welcome to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. I'm GHK Lal, and this is the National Outlook. You know, a lot of what we plan to talk about this week will be out of Sunday's newspaper. And unlike prior weeks, we have to speak about oil some more. I like to have a variety of topics. But this week, it just can't be helped. We have to speak a little bit more about oil. And we start right away with the front page comment in Kaieteur newspaper from yesterday, Sunday. The Tom Zanzillo report. I happen to be familiar with Mr. Zanzillo because he was deputy controller in New York City and a senior deputy finance controller in the state legislature for a couple of years, way back in the early part of this millennium. He's got a tremendous reputation. Chartered financial analyst, also oversaw the $150 billion pension fund. This man knows what he's talking about. He's been around the business. He's done reports that's been used by the Securities and Exchange Commission and other US government agencies. He took a look at our production sharing agreement with Exxon, and what he has brought before us is not thrilling. To use the words of the front page comment, it's damning and it's frightening. Damning and frightening. And most likely we're going to have to say more about this in other points on the radio and in the newspaper. But we have no ring fencing provisions. That means Exxon gets to take historic costs, older costs, and package them and put them into new projects, into current projects. It gets to do better because it's able to cherry pick expenses from before and spread them out over a period of time to suit its own accounting news that it wants to share with its investors and shareholders. It's called income smoothing. Income smoothing. So when you get to squeeze those expenses on the Exxon side, a lot of it is being passed on to Guyana. All of it is being passed on to Guyana. But there are certain expenses that Exxon has. When those don't get into their income statement, then it looks good before its shareholders. It looks good before the financial analysts of Wall Street in the quarterly reports. And I can tell you those things are followed like scripture. So Exxon is able to profit upon us whilst we are lingering, hoping for something to come. We're like the fox and the grapes, you remember? He's always jumping and reaching. We are jumping and reaching. We are reaching for what could be more, what could be enriching with oil. But as Mr. Tom Zanzillo tells us, we could be reaching in vain. This is what the Zanzillo report tells us. This is where our production sharing agreement by the previous coalition government still kept going by this in its totality. There are some things that can be reworked, I think, by this government, and it hurts us. It's harrowing, and it could be really endangering to us. Until the next time, this is GHK Lal on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM.